think we Italians can do better when in a modern tournament because modern it's a recent format and Italians don't like to study too much and so obviously and you have to consider that in this tournament, despite of a percentage of local players is obviously 50-60%. Uh, Obviously, a stranger that comes in Europe, at least, a stranger that comes to play a tournament far away from his town is probably a good player, or a medium good player,
Yeah,
or a pro player.
you wouldn't make a trip if
You
you
wouldn't
didn't.
make the trip if you're in amateur.
So
or
let's say
or you play a robot.
three Italians out of 8.
Three
Like
Italian,
yesterday.
3
Yesterday out of
hoping 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No more. No,
It's
but
not great.
percentage. But we'll see. Anyway, I forgot one deck.
What is sorry? What is playing Faina?
Blue,
white, red.
Blue, white, red.
Blue, white,
Blade.
red, Esper,
Blade.
Blade.
Blade with blue, non Esper, the other.
Yeah.
Blue, white, red.
Who
And I forgot a deck before mentioning the. I mean, the metagame, it is Infect that is growing. We seen Todd Anderson in top 8 in last Star City a big event. And this is a deck that is really strong and really quick and is lethal as a combo. Obviously, is a combo. Is lethal like Ad Nauseam, but obviously is easier to face because as we say yesterday, it passes through creatures. So you have more limitation than an but obviously
that's why
it's easier to combo out even infect that
In fact, that's why I was very surprised in the last Pro Tour and yesterday, for example, to see so many infect decks and only one storm deck. Like yesterday, we saw about 8 or 9 infects in the room, only one storm deck. In the end of the day, the storm deck just scoops the whole
now
tournament.
we are look to Andrea Faina at the camera. Come on, people, come on. Come here. So we start to enter to the game, and now I will introduce Andrea Faina. Who is Andrea Faina? This is a question that
no one cares.
No one cares, but we have to answer. And so, Andrea Faina is, I think, a Tuscan player that plays for many times tempo decks, and so now it's changed to a mid-range deck with Stoneblade is quite a good choice. David, what do you think? Is now in the meta game?
As long as the deck has got access to blue, I think it's a decent choice in Legacy. So I'm not too fussy whether if I had to enter a Legacy tournament, I would just make sure that my deck has got access to cards like Brainstorm, Fetchlands, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Force of Will, and then anything else just to get up to 75 cards. I don't care. As long as I got Brainstorms and Fetchlands and Jace and Force of Will and this powerful blue cards, and I'm
obviously.
happy.
Obviously. And let's see. We don't know which deck is playing the opponent of Andrea, but
The opponent is on Team America.
It's on Team America. So it's quite. I mean, it's quite an even matchup because it's a matchup where there's no much. Silver bullets that both players have. It will be probably a match in which every spell, every end of turn brainstorm, every fetch land will count and give you the advantage to one or another. And Team America on this side has the ability with Abrupt Decay to get rid easily of a sword. So it's not a big problem for him. But anyway, let's see.
Yeah, so I've got a question for you about Legacy. In Modern, most of the times, when I sit down, my opponent plays the first land. If I can figure out what deck is playing, I know exactly how the matchup plays. I know exactly that I might be 70-30 or 30-70 or even like really big percentages. Is it true that in Legacy most matchups play out, more evenly? I mean, you don't really see matchups to be like 20-80 or stuff like this. They're mostly about 40-60 or 50-50 or very close matches.
Yeah. No, here when an opponent plays a flooded strand or a polluted delta, you absolutely don't know which deck is playing. So it's not a format in which you can have a precise indication of strategy.
Okay, so there's a.
Andrea is got.
Okay, no, he's
He's
hiding.
got.
Anyway, yeah, it has access to. So the opponent is on Baghdad, I can see two Lilianas, I can see.
But he has a strange backdrop because two Liliana in the main is.
Yeah, it's a mid-range playing Liliana. Yeah, it's not common in that deck to play Liliana. I mean, not all the deck like this play Liliana, but it's a choice. Anyways.
Okay, so he leads with that right shaman.
Quite common start.
Yeah, and I think the better start for that deck. For sure, the better start of that deck, because it gives you access to free mana second turn. It gives you the possibility to fetch and control the graveyard or your opponent. So it's, I mean, when I play that deck, I wanna see that right shaman my first turn. And now Salvador is trying to figure out if he can play safely one of his two Liliana, but now he prefers to go for a Ponder. And he's fetching the turn.
Did he have a fetch man? I mean, did he have access to free mana on turn 2?
And he shuffled. You see,
maybe his choice was.
Did he have a fetch man in his hand?
Yeah.
I don't think
so. I think so because
he
just fetched away 2 lands. I don't know because why? Maybe he's fearing that Faina is playing Miracle and can do a counter spell.
Yeah, probably.
But in fact,
It's not that.
But in fact, he had 2 Liliana in hand, so I would have played. But maybe problem is that maybe he doesn't get a fetch land to use with that right.
Faina fetch before making brainstorm in his hand. I don't know why. But anyway.
Faina is fetching end of turn.
Why fetching before?
I don't know exactly. What can you play with?
Maybe
with
he has
2 mana?
another.
I don't know. Maybe he don't have a brainstorm.
Maybe he's not gonna brainstorm. Or maybe he just wants to counter that.
Oh, okay.
Counters.
That makes sense.
Now Salvador, he doesn't know if Faina is playing maybe a Miracle with red, but now after the bolt, he knows that it's not a Miracle. Instead, Salvador remains quite surprised from that play, because probably he's thinking that Faina is playing Miracle, but after the bolt.
This is not a good matchup for Team America. I mean, losing to a shaman is quite bad. I don't know. You have to say, oh, okay.
Yeah, Wasteland drops off.
Does he have actually? Okay, in his hand he's got 2 brainstorm, 1 force of will, and 1 jitta.
Yeah. And the other has 2 Liliana and.
Now we play the Delver.
And the force.
And the force of will with no access to force of will.
Now when the turn, Faina plays a brainstorm.
So we play brainstorm at end of turn. We find sword for sure.
He did actually find he decided not to plowshare. Maybe scared of days or cards like that.
Yes.
He's probably gonna plowshare and fetch the GT away.
Yeah. And in this moment, GT is a dead card, and anyway, if Faina is drawing the Stoneforge Mystic, he can easily fetch him the GT to try to face the race of the other. But anyway, he will, I quite for sure, use foreclosure against the devil. He's fetching another volcanic island.
Yeah, Yeah, we're getting the deck list.
With that list, we can see that Salvador deck list. As I said, he plays.
It does decide to play Sword Poachers to get rid of Denver.
Yeah.
So at this moment in time, Salvador has got 2 Liliana Tadeos. If he can draw into a blue card, he might actually try and force through 1 Liliana.
Yeah. But now he decides for the
He keeps deciding.
He's trying to get consistent.
Why we don't play Liliana? I don't understand. We have two pieces.
Maybe in this situation, he knows that a +1 of Liliana can get rid of his second Liliana. I think it's not a bad choice to play Liliana, but maybe he's finding first an attacker.
Well, yeah, what I don't really understand is basically he's got 3 mana, right? And he's not.
Netherlands.
No, basically it's not playing the first hand. I don't know exactly.
Maybe it's quite confusion.
No, I think maybe he's trying to keep your cards in hand to have a discard card, to have an amount of cards to discard with Liliana, and you want to see what he draws.
It's quite illogical.
Obviously, Stoneblade does not have access to Wasteland, right?
No, maybe not.
Anyway, I was saying to you that the deck of Salvador, he plays a list without. He plays 2 Tazigor. He plays obviously 4 Delver, 4 Tarmogoyf. He plays 4 into Turach, obviously. He plays Liliana. He doesn't play Tom Stalkers. And
so basically, he just wants to leave Liliana as the very last play he's gonna make.
Yeah.
But my question is, when you got access to 3 manas, 2 Lilianas in hand, Force of Will, and a blue card, isn't it just worth it? Isn't it just worth it to just play your Liliana, maybe get it countered by counterspell, and then try and get a second Liliana and then Force of Will back up? I mean, we both know that the Faina already played 1 counterspell. He does not have access to Snapcaster Mage plus counterspell because he has 2 basic lanes, so he cannot really. I mean, he has to Force of Will Liliana. I mean, he cannot beat Liliana.
Yeah, obviously. No, I don't know. Salvador wanted a strong card on board.
See, for example,
now Snapcaster
can actually flashback Sword of Plowshares, but he wouldn't have been able to flashback the counterspell.
Yeah. And now probably
Salvador, and now Liliana is also way less powerful because of Snapcaster.
Because of Snapcaster. He have to do the -2 to kill the Snapcaster, and maybe now.
Yeah, the first Liliana is probably okay. So now he's playing number 2, which means with Force Will. I mean, now his plan could actually be like to drop his first Liliana, get rid of Snapcaster Mage, and try and put Liliana up. But now he finds himself with 2 Lilianas in his hand.
Yeah.
And the second one is just redundant.
Yeah. Now we let it resolve the Force of Will of Faina, and he's playing a Delver. That Delver can be a menace for Salvador. For Faina, because Faina is just 1 card left, and now he flips for Delver. Yeah, he found the days. Not as strong
just
in this moment. Not too strong in this moment.
Well, I mean, if the last card in hand is Force of Will, for example, it's a Vendilion Click.
Vendilion Click, and he finds the Force Will. Obviously. And now he got 2 Liliana in hand.
Well, he should have 2 Lilianas left, unless he shuffles somewhere away.
He got it. He never did brainstorm. 3 damage to Faina, it drops down to 13. And now Liliana comes finally killing the Snapcaster Mage as we predicted.
Yeah, but see, like now the second Liliana in his hand is absolutely useless.
But now he get the +1 discarding the second Liliana.
Yeah, well, he discard days.
Well, he can discard practically everything, a land from Faina.
Faina decided
And
not to
days.
play the land.
Yeah, maybe to force, but anyway, he knows that. Stoneforge
that's
Mystic
a
is a
strong.
good top that
This is a strong top deck.
can put in a Gita into play as we predicted. And the problem is that now
Why? Why G2?
Well, because he's got Liliana.
Oh yeah, but anyway.
he's got to. He can in this situation kill his Liliana to destroy,
Yeah, and
did
then
it.
just
And then play
Liliana
Liliana.
number 2.
This is now Salvador is a very
Is but definitely in the driver's seat.
yeah. +1. Yeah.
Can he come back? Let's say.
I don't know because
Can he come back from here?
I don't know if he come back because if he top decks a creature there's a Liliana watching him, and now
Oh.
Tarmogoyf.
There's no
Now
coming
it's
back.
practically over for Faina. Now me also a Jace cannot solve this kind of situation. This is a situation in which Faina is practically dead in every draw.
Top deck at Jace?
Even a Jace will be enough.
No, now is not useful. You can bounce
Faina
that.
plays 2 Jace, 2 dig through time, 1 Council Judgment,
Yeah, and it just scoops.
just scoops, yeah. Probably he drew a Jace, but he don't want to show to the opponent that he's playing a Jace.
Yeah.
So because it's a card that in that deck could be or could be not in the deck list. So now is
If I play any islands, I would probably play Jace.
yeah, obviously, but anyways,
Let's go through the
talking
sideboard
about the
cards.
sideboards.
I'll go through the sideboard, starting with Faina, and I want to ask you like whether you would sideboard in cards like we see Meddling Mage, probably not good. Ethereal Canonist, probably not good. Containment Priest, Surgical Extraction, Flusterstorm, probably not in. Red Elemental Blast,
Yeah, sure.
definitely. Vendilion Click is pretty
Sure.
good. It's pretty good to beat Liliana.
Pyroclasm,
Pyroclasm,
It kills
it's
a
decent
Delver.
against Delvers.
but it kills also the Stoneforge.
Supreme Verdict. Are you
Mm.
ever gonna be in a situation, probably on the play, Supreme Verdict against a deck like Back Delver? Probably
No.
not the best plan.
No.
Wear Tier
Maybe.
doesn't have many targets.
Maybe. Blood Moon.
Blood Moon, Pyroblast,
Can be.
and Engineered Explosive. I mean, he's basically sideboarding in just Vendilion Click and a few Red Blasts.
Yeah, and maybe an explosive. An explosive? Maybe. Instead, Salvador is got in the sideboard 3 Spell Pierce, 3 Disfigure, 3 Golgari Charm, 1 Cage, 1 Creeping Tar Pit, 1 Vendilion, 1 Lurord, 1 other Liliana, and 1 Submerge. He probably will board in a Submerge, I think, but I'm not sure of it. And maybe he can board in the Disfigure for the and maybe 1 or 2 Spell Pierce. It depends also why where are cards they boarding out, because there's against that deck. If I am Salvador, I don't have many cards to put out in this kind of games, Legacy, in which the cards are 1 for 1 for 1. Many players tend to sideboard out the Force of Wills.
Yeah.
You agree for?
Well, I don't think there's that many silver bullets that you do want to force a will.
Yeah.
I mean,
Force of Will
Force of
gives
Will
you
is basically a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
You're
Maybe
2
most
for
of the time.
you're just going 2 for 1. Also, against the deck with cards like Into Tura, you don't want to give them too much advantage. I mean, you're playing against the deck with Into Tura, you're playing against the deck with cards like Abrupt Decay that you cannot counterspell. I mean, I don't.
No,
well,
I'm talking
I do
also
know-
Faina, obviously, but
Also on
for
Salvador's
Salvador. I mean, they are from Faina is from Italy. Salvador, I think, is
from Spain.
more from Spain or from France, Guillaume, we can ask him.
Yeah, we're probably gonna ask. I suppose it's
And I was saying in the list of Salvador that the coming in of Tazigor in the format has been a very good card, much better as a delve option than Tom Stalker, because Tom Stalker is a 5/5 flying, is hard to face, but is not as versatile as the Zigor. Yeah, Salvador is sideboard as we previewed. He sideboarded out with Force of Wheels and with Daisy to put in some concrete aid like Nurod, like Submerge, and so as I said, in this kind of matchups, in which one card goes for one card, a Force of Will is most of the time is 2 for 1.
And
And
apparently both players actually sideboarded out a few Force of Will. Maybe not all of them,
Yeah.
but they started sideboarding out and it took away Force of Will.
Because it doesn't exist.
Also, especially because one of the decks is actually sideboarding in cards like Red Elemental Blast,
Yeah.
which is.
I mean, the only card that I got to protect with the Force of Will and the words the Force of Will is Jace. I mean, if I have Jace in hand to protect him, I can use a Force of Will. But I can never use a Force of Will to protect a Delver from being deplosured or a Goyf to being deplosured. I mean, I don't care. It's 1 for 1. I gain them some life and I turn the next. So now we will for the second game, in which Faina will start. And against Salvador with Dark Delver. And Faina is showing the end, but
Let's try to look at, well, we can see at least a couple of fetchlands, a couple of ponders, disfigures, and a delver. So it's an easy keep.
Yeah.
It's an easy keep for Salvador.
And the Mulligan for Faina.
Yeah, we can see Talzigor, 2 fetchlands, delver, 2 ponders, and a disfigure.
Yeah,
so is he actually gonna start off with delver in this situation?
Yeah.
He's probably just gonna say delver go.
Obviously, Delver go.
And
Most
let's
of the
try and
time,
see
he's
6
the play.
cards of Faina. I can see a few lands. Yeah.
He's got
2 volcanic, 1 fetchland, 1 Jace, swords and plowshares, and a thunder.
And a
So
thunder.
it
He's got
is a
4
bit
lands.
flooded, but it does have an early response to that.
Yeah. This is important. He starts with a volcanic, letting in. Yeah. Yeah, and a Detroit Shaman is a very good beginning, as I said.
Okay, so his 8th card is Deathray Shaman, and
It's a good card.
It's an actually
It's a pretty
good 8th card. Will you still lead with Deathray Shaman there, or
Yeah.
will you try
I
and beat
always,
down with that?
I always start with Deathray Shaman if I have Deathray Shaman. He gives me the 3rd mana, he gives me
But knowing that your opponent is playing both lightning bolts and sword plowshares,
Yeah, but
do you still choose to
Yeah,
play
because
your
it's-
best creature on turn 1 rather than Delver?
because it's a card that your opponent has to face immediately or takes too much advantage. And now a Delver comes in and the Wasteland. Wasteland, he thinks about
I've got a
which
question
card?
here. On turn 2, right?
Volcanic
If you know you're gonna have a wasteland, isn't it worth it if you are gonna wasteland the volcanic island just to wasteland first and then post combat just play your dead?
Obviously, because if he's got a red elemental blast or something, he can counter you.
You can also counter, you can also bolt.
He can also bolt. Instead, now Faina finds a second sword to plowshare to get rid of the Delver, and now Salvador doesn't have much hosers, and he goes for a ponder to find another And now he can play a Tazigor that can be very, very strong in this situation, in this board situation. Because Faina has just 2 lands, because it doesn't have a counter spell, and then, he found
he found the
way,
second one.
finally.
Okay.
Because since Faina Mulligan and started, maybe he can have a lack of lands, and Salvador is trying to put on the denial game. But anyways, Faina, for his luck, is flooded, but he found another shaman. This is good deck again. Now
He
Faina,
did decide to play a shaman over a Tazigor.
Yeah.
Now, for example, Faina has access to cards like
I've seen in the end of Faina a Blood Moon. I would have played. I mean, why don't you play Blood Moon in this situation? Maybe because he's got
got access to
if he plays Blood Moon, he don't get us. He doesn't have access to white. He doesn't get access to the second island to play Jace.
yeah, his mana base at the moment is a bit shaky to play Blood Moon.
Yeah, still shaky. Anyways, now Salvador will probably play Tazigor, and this could be.
Also, bear in mind that now Faina does not have any access to cards like Snapcaster Mage
He played Tazigor
because of the Death Ray Shaman.
Now Jace come in. Now Jace will come in, trying to bounce Tazigor. A Days here could end the game.
Yeah.
But Salvador doesn't have it. And so, yeah, Faina now will probably fetching a plane. Yeah, or not Tundra.
It's Tundra.
Yeah.
Because
he can't fetch a plane with.
Do you just bounce Tazigor?
Yeah.
And then on the following turn you have a window to actually brainstorm and try to find an answer to that Ray Shaman.
Yeah, because Tazigor, if you bounce Tazigor, obviously he cannot play him next turn. It's the only choice I have. I mean,
Salvador has got 3 cards in hand. It does not any way to directly kill Jace.
Yeah, he's got Ponder, he's got 2 Disfigure, and now it's not at the end of turn. At the end of turn,
Death Ray Shaman's got 3 Force Flushers,
giving 2 damage to Faina. And now Deathright probably will attack Jace, trying to bring him down. Into Turach.
Faina doesn't really make a big difference in this moment, because obviously
Brainstorm of
Jace is
gonna
brainstorm.
to find a bolt or a plowshare for the Deathright Shaman. Get rid of the menaces.
It did find
a
brainstorm and a Storm for Mystic. He wants to keep the Blood Moon down. The fact is, he only has like 4 mana, so he cannot really play both.
Yeah.
So at this moment in time, you're probably just better off to keep Brainstorm and
the Blood Moon.
And the blocker for.
Yeah. He wants to play the Blood Moon. He knows that the Blood Moon is a big ozer for Salvador.
The fact is just now, I mean, he's basically giving up his chase in order to resolve. Okay, that is a play I really like, because now Salvador doesn't really have access to any colored mana anymore.
But
did he just use Jace twice?
He used Jace twice, yeah.
He just used.
He used the Jace twice.
Yeah,
we have to call
actually. Yeah, we do have to call the judge. He just used Jace twice.
Please stop. 1 second.
He just brainstormed and then used the ability of Jace and it's obviously cannot do it. So now we call a judge. Anyways, this strategy will be
Well, obviously the basically just brainstormed
he
with
basically just
Jace.
brainstorm.
Yeah, he basically drew free with Jace, and then just bounced as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt he had used it 2 times with Jace. Strong like that. You can do brainstorm, 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 brainstorm. And now we call the judge and we will see. Obviously, we don't have doubts on what happened, and we can reconstruct all the things happening. Anyways, let's look at the end of Salvador in the meantime, as we have time. The end is like
Golgari Charm, Tazigor.
He's got Golgari Charm, he's got Tazigor Bounced, he's got Disfigure. He's trying to explain why he did use Jace 2 times. He thought he was a first. He thought he was a brainstorm. So now basically what they're gonna do is that probably Jace will come down.
Jace should be in play.
Should be in play with one counter, and the Death Ray Shaman
is in play
too. So the thing that really changes is that now the next turn the Death Ray Shaman will kill Jace, but then he will stay on board. And this is obviously for Salvador is a bit different, because if he can't have that, if Death Ray Shaman dies in this situation, probably Salvador had lose the game. Because without the Death Ray Shaman against the Blood Moon, that deck, you cannot go out. And now they're gonna. There's a judge at the table and he's reconstructing the situation, but it's very easy.
It's very easy to reconstruct. Jace is in play with one counter, and Death Ray
Shaman is in play too, because the brainstorm was also before, so there's not also the problem of seeing extra cards. And anyways,
you will try to listen what the judge is saying.
Okay, they reconstructed the situation as we said, leaving the Jace on the table with one counter and the Death Ray Shaman in play.
Sono tornati indietro?
Easy. Yeah. Okay. Now Salvador is not in a very good situation as before, but
well, we do know that Faina has got a stone
now he brainstorms sorcery to try to find someone quickly. I don't agree with his choice because he sees a card less.
Yeah.
If he had brainstormed after, if there's no card that can kill the Death Ray Shaman now, only one card. So this is not a big choice. Anyways, Jace is killed as we predicted, and now
he's basically just gonna drop the Stormford Mystic, probably get in Battle School.
Yeah. Yeah, but we know that Salvador is got the Disfigure in hand, but Faina has got 5 mana, so we'll be able to play Battle School anyways, the turn after. But anyways, I mean, the game with Team America, the card you don't want to see is Blood Moon. The card is absolutely you don't want to see. Because you don't have basic lands, you got only the Detroit Shaman, and
Now let's have a quick look at
and that's the reason why.
Salvador's hand. How many ways does he have to beat Battle School? He can actually Liliana discard Battle School, which is he cannot.
Yeah.
It does
Now
not- it
obviously
doesn't-
he
yeah.
kills with Detroit Shaman. He kills the Stoneforge Mystic, obviously because. But
So
Battle
Battle School hits play. The problem,
Yeah,
the
he
problem with
used,
yeah,
sorry,
he did,
for the-
use,
for the
he did
question.
use Jace twice.
now he's gonna get a Ponder, but I don't agree with that because you cannot go into the only thing he can draw is another Detroit Shaman to be able to play the second Detroit and with 2 Detroit Shaman do like a Liliana to sacrifice a Battle School. But that's not gonna happen. And now,
He's getting close to actually hard cast Tarzigor.
yeah, now it's obviously Faina is in a good situation. He's got the blue, he's got the white, he's got 5 mana, he's got a Battle School, he's got practically everything he needs to win this game. Despite he mulliganed the 6 that he was on the draw. He was on the play. So here with
This
5
is a
mana.
hard cast Tarzigor.
Yeah. I'm casting Tazigor because this is the only way to try to fix another Blood Moon coming for. And now with this Tazigor, Salvador has managed to stop the action of the Battle School. It can be.
The problem with Salvador is that there's only 2 lands left in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So he only has
After
he's only
after
has
these 2
access to-
lands, he will not be able to play anything else. So the problem is now we have to choose what spell play and carefully because obviously no other lands will drop on the board.
Also, Salvador has got absolutely no basic lands in his deck.
Yeah, as we said before. And no Team America, no one plays basic land in that deck because now Faina is in a clear advantage. Now he's playing a spell, another brainstorm. He's gonna trying to find something, but the problem is that even if he finds the second Detroit Shaman, he doesn't have lands to feed them. And even if he finds it, it's difficult to use it. Even to do 2 damage at the end of the turn. Yeah. Now he's playing. Now he's playing the Tarmogoyf, I think. Or what did he play? Can you switch on camera maybe? He's playing the Tarmogoyf, yeah. And this could be This could be serious for Faina. It's serious problem. With the last mana, uh, Salvador was able to find the target. The Zigor kills the germ, and when we are bold, the Zigor dies like that way, and Faina get back to 20 lives. And now, playing at the end of the turn, is gonna bounce, obviously, Battle School, to put it again into play. He finds another place and the Battle School. So for now, Salvador is not in a good shape. Because if he attacks and Faina don't blocks, Faina can attack it back with his Battle School and regaining the 4 life he loses.
So obviously Salvador cannot play any more spells.
Yeah, this is a fact. Salvador is ended the spells he had. So now he's gonna probably discard the land to give some feed to the Detroit Shaman. And now with the brainstorm of Faina. And now Faina is, in total control of the game, and is trying basically to can do what he wants because Salvador is forced to discard lands to feed the Detroit Shaman to do something, but
Council. Judgment.
Council of Judgment.
Comunque si vede si sente molto bene.
Council of Judgment, I think he can obviously
Sai cosa?
he chooses Detroit Shaman. Now probably for Salvador is really over.